Hey, welcome to WACTS. This is episode 17. This week we're going to cover I did from May 18th to May 25th, 2015. Pardon my voice gets a little bit scratchy. I've been kind of on and off under the weather over the past couple weeks. Not quite sure what's going on there. The big thing this week was I was at a wedding, so you're not going to hear too much more about that because that doesn't really fit in any of the categories. I'll just say it was my wife's sister getting married, and it was a fantastic service, fantastic ceremony, reception. There was dancing and wonderful food. It was at the Three Stallions Inn in Randolph, Vermont. If you're thinking about a wedding, have it there. It's a fantastic place. There was a pool, jacuzzi, all sorts of cool stuff. Had a great time. I got to bond with some family members that I hadn't really spoken to in a while. One of Liz's cousins is actually a very talented coder, and so I got to speak to him a little bit about VR and that kind of thing, so that was neat. Just in terms of developing my own talents or skills a little bit more. I tried to work a little bit on my photography skills and videography skills. I filmed a lot of the wedding, so I tried to think very artfully, not artfully, I tried to think very practically about how to cover certain elements of the wedding. I had both my cameras with me, so trying to figure out like, well, I can put one here, put one here. After the fact, I realized that a great place to put my camera during the ceremony, or the ceremony, which was outside, would have been behind the bride and groom facing the audience, because that's kind of a view you don't usually get to see. And then my other camera was from my seat, so that's where I was doing close-ups, and that would have been a nice, I think, combination. It would have been kind of weird to cut between those views because you're breaking the 180-degree rule. But there's some cool moments, like when everyone started clapping after the ceremony was over. All these horses had gathered like right by the gate, right behind the ceremony, and then whoa, and then they kind of exploded off in the distance. So it was like fireworks, and that was really cool. So we drove back yesterday, and there's a really nice tradition that my wife's family has. We did this after my wife and I got married 3 years ago. We drove over to the East Barnard Church Cemetery, which actually is right by where my wife and I got married, so it's kind of cool to be driving past that and reminiscing about our wedding. And of course, Liz's sister and her boyfriend had been dating for like a year and a half at that point, and now they're married, and that's really sweet and wonderful. So all good memories there. Anyway, taking all the flowers from the wedding that were scattered around the dining hall and that kind of stuff, gathering up all those flowers and laying them over the gravestones of the different family members in that area. My wife's family has a very tight-knit Vermont community, dating back 6 generations, and going back into the 1800s. There's these gravestones of people in East Barnard, Vermont, serving in everything from the Civil War right through, more recent wars, and really kind of lovely and perfect, with today being Memorial Day, to pay tribute to all those people and kind of laying down the flowers and just talking a little bit about who each of them were. A lot of these family members who I never met, never could have met, and still have a legacy and still have a lasting influence on those of us alive today. And of course, with our baby, visiting these sites is very meaningful because there's traits, physical and personality-wise, that our son is going to have that can date back to some of these grandparents, and it's kind of interesting to be thinking about that with new life, walking around ancestors and that kind of thing. So anyway, that was all a lovely experience. Plenty of fun stuff to talk about this week. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get right to it. Happy Memorial Day. Thank your veterans.